Good evening, everybody. I know you're having a great time, and I know you'd love to keep talking, and I'd kind of love you to do that too, but we've got some prizes to give. And welcome, everybody, to the SOA Awards and to Southwark Cathedral, a stunning venue we're so pleased to return to for the first time since 2019. This is the first time we've live-streamed this event, and so a warm welcome to everyone watching at home. I would like to introduce our keynote speaker, Lemn Sissay, a poet, playwright, memoirist, performer, and broadcaster. Lemn has read on stage throughout the world, from the Library of Congress in the United States to Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, from the Opera House of Dubai to London Palladium, and finally to the heady heights of Wigan Library in Wigan. Lemn was awarded the Pen Pinter Prize in 2019 when his memoir, My Name is Why, reached #1 in the Sunday Times bestseller list. In 2021, it won Indie Book Awards Non-Fiction Prize. If you Google the name Lemn Sissay, all the returning hits will be about him. There is only one person in the world named Lemn Sissay, and here he is.
Clear your throats, folks. Cough until your chest's content. No one will hate you. No one will point at you. No one will report you. No need to feel guilt. In cough we trust. Cough, cough, cough away. Sometimes, thank you. Sometimes I have a coughing fit just because I can. Shall I begin? They say action speaks louder than words, but words are the first action. It's a good time to be an author. Why? Because there are more words passing between more people than ever before. More people are fixated by written words than ever before. Because power over means of production concerning the written word is no longer controlled solely by the few billionaires, oligarchs, religious administrations, governments. The power to author an idea and take it to production through publication, then out to audience this is going to be a long walk. The power to author an idea and take it to production through publication, then out to audiences is here. It's right here. Wow. Wow. This is the place where most people read. This is the place where most people write. This is a terabyte of truth and a library of lies, an authentic witness statement and a monster of misinformation, a portal for the imagination to a new world and a prison for the mind. Press send. They say a picture speaks 1,000 words, but 1,000 words speak billions and billions of images. There's no such thing as virtual reality. There is only reality, reaching out to virtually everyone I know, all 3 of my followers. Press send. Come closer. Come a little bit closer. We are closer. We are meeting in person at the Society of Author Awards for the first time since June 2019. In the meantime, we've been using Zoom. Zoom is the title of our Poet Laureate's first book, circa 1989. How did he know? Zoom. We were forced apart from our loved ones, so we zoomed into each other's lives, into each other's homes. Zoom brought us together when we most needed it. It was unique. It was beautiful. It became a window through which to look from one reality to another, like the windows opened with the subtle knife in Philip Pullman's Northern Lights trilogy. The Society of Authors Awards tonight is both online and in person. So hello to the person watching at home. I love your wallpaper. Somebody has just walked behind you. I hope it's a member of your family. No doubt, in the not-too-distant future, these machines, which we unguardedly love and guardedly fear, will author poetry which will move audiences to tears and to laughter. We will watch at home or in theatres. We're already typing intimate questions into a computer, questions we wouldn't ask our closest friends. The way we learn is changing. We're at the birth of a new age. Before 2006, a tweet was the sound of spring. I'm not saying that this is the death of an old age. Alexa, how do I write a speech? Alexa, Alexa. Google Assistant tells me the name Alexa is of Greek origin and means defender of mankind. Of course, I wouldn't ask Alexa that question. That would be crazy. Stop. Up until this point, I have written this speech over and over and over again. You have no idea how many times I've started this again. I tried to be clever, I tried to be profound, I tried to be deep, I tried to be funny, I tried to be intelligent, I tried to be belligerent, baffling, arty. I thought of you judging me now. I tried and I tried and I tried to pull all the strands together. Delete. Delete, delete, cut, paste, copy, cut, paste, delete, save, quit, find file in trash. Revert, last edit, undo, undone. The God of grammar says, don't try to be the verb to be, just be. Rubbish. Okay, delete. I guess the first thing to say is, isn't it good to be here right now? Isn't it good to be alive right now? Isn't it? In other words, face to face. In other words, eye to eye. In other words, congregated. In concert. In other words, if you put your ear to the ground, you can actually hear the collective shuffling of feet in the book signing queues at the Hay Festival. I was there 2 days ago, as were a few of you. Michael Morpurgo was on form, firing on all cylinders. Quote, cylinders, quote, "Did you know that over 800 libraries have been closed within the time of this government?" Close quote. Cressida Cowell spoke too. Cressida heads a project called Life-Changing Libraries, and the aim is to get libraries back into primary schools, because libraries in primary schools raise attainment goals, poets, writers as activists. And yeah, the internet is one great big library. But the physical space of the library, the wonder of what humans can create in the name of togetherness. So yeah, it's good to be back, face to face. Let's talk about what's happening right now for authors and readers in the world. Authors, bookshops are back! Bookshops are back! A little over enthusiastic. Don't know if you've seen how Waterstones is moving into shopping malls as high streets recede their less accountable squiggly back streets. Today you can go to an air-conditioned, weatherless shopping mall in the city or town and buy Nike trainers from Foot Locker. Other brands and trainers are available. And then buy the book Marcus Rashford, You Are a Champion by Carl Anka, who won the award just the other day at the news. I'm sure you've noticed the rise of independent bookshops in the villages and towns and cities. They've become a part of the community. They're becoming the heart of the community. As an author, and particularly as a poet, I've returned to travelling up and down the UK. I get to walk around the towns and the cities and the villages and have the chance to witness the return of the bookshop. Huzzah! Authors, book launches are back. Book launches are back. Authors, editors, publishers, publicists and friends squeeze into rooms, balancing precariously wobbly wine glasses between floating trains of half-good canapes. Everyone's excited, not exactly sure how to greet each other. Do we hug? Do we shake hands? Do we kiss one cheek, two cheeks, both cheeks? So no change in social awkwardness at book launches then. Podcasts. I remember when there were just a couple of media outlets for books. Both of them were captained by the smoky tones of Mariella Frostrop. Now you can't move for podcasts discussing books, interviewing authors, broadcasting to thousands and thousands and millions of book-buying listeners. My own podcast was launched at Hay a couple of days ago with the British Library. It's called All About Sound. So far, I've got one play in Uzbekistan. Thank you, Uzbekistan! Authors, live events, publisher parties, readings are back. Yes, they are. Readings are back. I've been to a few. Daunt Books round the corner in Marylebone. Been to a few parties too, notably the Canongate Summer Party. I didn't used to go to literature parties because I was just so into myself that I was just so nervous about going to them, and I forgot that being nervous about going to these things and not going to them makes it all about me. Anyway, I go now anyway. But it is a joy. Nerves are good, by the way. Nerves are a good thing, by the way. They certainly are. You know, you get a tuning fork to get the perfect pitch, whack it on the thing, and it vibrates heavily. That's nerves to get the perfect pitch. Anyway, back on to the script. It is a joy to be at live author readings too, although I had a lot of fun on Zoom just pretending, you know, that the screen had frozen. Sorry. Anyway, one of the best things about live author readings, live author events, is that it won't actually freeze. And one of the worst things about the live author event, as I'm sure some of you are experiencing, is that it won't actually freeze. Books are online too, folks. Do you remember people said the Kindle would mark the end of publishing? Do you remember when people actually said there would be more traffic accidents because electric? Do you remember when people actually said there would be more traffic accidents because it wasn't funny when I wrote it, and it's not funny now. Do you remember when people actually said there would be more traffic accidents because electric cars would be so quiet? Things are changing fast on the learning curve. Inclusive, diverse, excellent, new technology and new ideas are working us towards a best practice common denominator. Diversity, rather than lowering the bar, raises the game. If there's not diversity in the room, then what's the room? I remember when this room might have been mainly men, mainly white, but here is the room. Here is the room. Here is the room of authors. We have authors. Authors as chancellors in Jackie Kay. Authors as activists in Monique Rofi and Michael Morpurgo. Authors as band members like Anthony Joseph and Val McDermid. Authors as artists like Jay Bernard and Imtiaz Hussein. Authors as broadcasters and educationalists like Michael Rosen and Ian McMillan. Authors as podcasters in George the Poet. Authors as musicians, poets and zeitgeist lightning rods in Kay Tempest. Authors as classically trained dancers in Tishana Doshi. Authors as playwrights and midnight runners in Inua Elams, authors who are human rights lawyers in Mona Arshi, hard-working authors who are big barrels of fun like Philip Ardar, authors whose words are chosen for Beyonce's album, Warsan Shire, authors who were poets from the day they were born in Caroline Bird, and authors as spiritual diviners of the past like Jenny Fagan and Selena Godden and Maggie O'Farrell, authors who are educated and blessed with brilliant minds like Mallory Blackman, and authors who are culture changers like Dame Jacqueline Wilson, and authors as presidents such as Bernardine Evaristo, president of the Royal Society of Literature. Who am I to tell you this, to share this with you? Google me, ask Alexa, and answers vary. He's a thing of this, he's a thing of that, or he's a blah of the other. He's got one of those and he's been over there. From the horse's mouth, let me tell you who I am. I am an author. I've been an author for over 30 years with varying degrees of failure and success. I am an author amongst a society of authors. Bottom line, to the award winners today, you are in the right industry. None of this would be here if it were not first imagined. Not this church, not the Society of Authors, not the awards, and not the text I'm reading. Creativity is not the monopoly of artists and the authors. We're lucky enough to work in it, and with it, stories carry humanity. We need stories fueled by imagination to tell us who we are, so we've got something to argue with. There's no greater time to be a writer, to show the world what a magical place it can be and how incredible the people in it actually are. We need windows to wonder. How else are we going to imagine a better world? Not that your job is to show us a better world. Your job is to create. The act of creating is a celebration of what it is to be human. The imagination is the manifestation of God. Whichever God you believe in. And you don't even have to believe in God to know that creativity is the greatest example of humanity. It is the spirit of Neil Gaiman and Ursula K. Gunn, James Baldwin and Akala, Bernardine Evaristo and Toni Morrison, Jacqueline Wilson and Joanne Harris. We are the activists. We authors look across the vista of the past, see the arrival of the World Wide Web, and we know the magical relationship between the written word and the person who wrote it. We zoom to you. These awards, they are our way the way of authors, foundations, legacies, individuals, organizations. They are our way of saying we believe in you. These awards are flags in the mountainside of your unique journey, or they're beacons lit upon the hilltops by the cairn. Carry on. Keep going in the direction that you're going. We are firing arrows tipped with burning bitumen into the sky at night so that in your darkest moment you see bright burning arches of light. Keep going. Carry on. We believe in you. Publishers, online and off. There are booksellers, podcasts, book clubs, filmmakers, culture makers, holiday readers and readers looking to be inspired at their most lost moment. They all need you. Keep going. Carry on. We believe in you. It may feel a solitary journey, and it is. There'll be times that you pause with your pen or hover with hands above the keyboard. Is it worth it? You might ask yourself, am I mad? It will feel as if you are alone, that what you are writing is not worth the screen or the paper it is written on. At that moment, know this: there is an army of us out there in the world. You don't know our names, and you don't know our faces. We are readers. We are writers. If you put your ear to the ground, first you might hear the rumbles of the world, but concentrate harder, and you will hear all the words of the world from past and present being spoken. Collectively, they repeat over and over again, we believe in you. Keep going. Carry on. Keep going. Carry on. We believe in you. Keep going. Carry on. 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 We believe in you.
Thank you so much. How on earth can I follow that with some scripted list of names and awards without you all wandering off to the bar again and resuming your conversations? That was so wonderful. I always forget when Lemn talks that you are going to be taken on a kind of roller coaster, which is also a learning curve, which will go from intelligence to humor, to depth and profundity, and then to the absurd, and then to some kind of wonderful crowd-funded applause for who you are. And I think sometimes we forget, don't we, that what we do is actually driven by not the desire to give out money to people in awards, although we like doing that actually at the SOA, we love it, but it's not driven by words on the page, it's all driven by passion. And what Lemn always does is he's reminding us of the passion that is behind what we all do. So thank you very much for that, Lemn. And back to the script, and thank you also for everybody online and in venue for joining us for this occasion. And I'd just like to remind us of this passion that fires us, because sometimes it's easy to just zone out at the names, and there will be a few of them. But every one of you has done something amazing. Every act of creation is an act of courage, and you are all, beyond anything, courageous and fabulous. And don't you forget that just because there is some random person on a podium addressing you. So, first, we are happy to announce a new prize launching this year. The Society of Authors were delighted to be approached by publisher Claire Christian and author Penny Batchelor with the idea for a new prize for disabled authors and authors living with chronic illness. Thanks to funding from Arts Council England, the Drusilla Harvey Memorial Fund, and the Professional Writing Academy, that idea is now a reality in the new ADCI Literary Prize. Prize founders Penny Batchelor and Claire Christian will tell us more about this prize.
Ready to go. Hello, everybody. I'm delighted to be here at this wonderful event celebrating the winners of this year's Society of Authors Awards. I'm Claire Christian, publisher at Red Door Press, and I'm here with Red Door author and friend Penny Batchelor to announce a new prize that will open for submissions this year. The ADCI prize is aimed at authors living with disability and/or chronic illness, and its aim is to improve representation of these groups of people in literature. Penny will talk a little more about the prize specifications, but I wanted to tell you why I originally started to develop the idea for the prize. In 2020, at Red Door, we published Penny's brilliant debut, My Perfect Sister. In it, there's a character who has cerebral palsy, and I loved the fact that he was a character in the book rather than the focus of it. He's a solicitor and he's important to the story, but he's not the focus of it. It struck me how rarely we see disabled people reflected like this in the stories that we read. This lack of realistic representation really hit me, and the seed of the idea for the prize was planted. I approached Penny with the idea and we hatched a plan. She will tell you a little more about how we got the prize off the ground, and she'll also be thanking all the people who helped us get here on behalf of us both. However, for me, the biggest thank you goes to Penny for opening my eyes with her wonderful debut novel, for jumping on board without hesitation, and for championing the prize all the way. Penny, you are a force to be reckoned with. Thank you. Over to you.
Thanks, Claire.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Penny Batchelor, and thank you so much for inviting me. Claire and I hope that the Society of Authors, Authors with Disabilities and Chronic Illnesses Prize, or ADCI for short, would be a game changer in the industry. The prize is for an outstanding work of fiction written by a disabled or chronically ill author, which contains one or more disabled characters. According to the charity Scope, about 1 in 5 of us in this country have a disability or chronic illness at some point. Where are we then in fiction? I grew up not seeing anyone like me, disabled and northern, in novels or in publishing. I'm a firm believer that you've got to be able to see it in order to be it. That's why in my second thriller, Her New Best Friend, I also included disabled characters going about their everyday lives. If not in everyday circumstances, because if they did, the thriller wouldn't be very thrilling. But it's important to me that we're in there and that we're seen. I passionately believe that this prize will support and raise the profile of the ADCI community, increase positive disability representation in our culture, bring our books to the attention of readers, and show you agents, editors and publishers that there's a huge market out there just waiting to be tapped into. Claire and I were delighted when sponsors came on board and the Society of Authors welcomed us into their prize stable. We named the prize after the SOA's ADCI group, which was co-founded by Claire Wade and Patrick Walsh. The group is a tremendously supportive and enthusiastic one, and their reaction to the prize idea was an outstanding yes. There are many people to thank who have helped the prize come to fruition and have committed to supporting us over the next few years. They include Nicola Solomon and Robin Law at the SOA, and all the employees there who work on the ADCI group and the Society's prizes. Arts Council England's funding for 3 years has allowed us to plan for the future, along with the very generous bequest from the Drusilla Harvey Memorial Fund. Thanks also to the Professional Writing Academy, ALCS, Hawthornden Literary Retreat, and of course Claire for coming up with the idea in the first place. Next year we'll be announcing our inaugural winner, who will receive £1,000. We already have lots of ideas of how to expand the prize in the future, and if you'd like to become a sponsor to help make them happen, please get in touch. All the entry details will be on the SOA's website. We don't ask for any proof of a disability or illness. Applicants will self-identify. I'm going to be one of the 3 prize judges and can't wait to get stuck into reading and discovering the wealth of the DCI community's talents. So I'll see you all here next year. It's a date.
Thank you so much. And now to this evening's prizes. To begin with, the inaugural Gordon Bowker Volcano Prize, which focuses on the experience of travel away from home and is in memory of Malcolm Lowry and generously endowed by Ramdai Bowker and Gordon Bowker, his biographer. Thank you to the judges Caroline Brothers, Philip Hensher, and Alma Hussain. Congratulations to all the shortlisted authors: Tessa McWatt for The Snow Line, Catherine Meenan for Fragile Monsters, Olivia Sujic for Asylum Road. This year's runner-up is Jamie O'Connell for Diving for Pearls. This year's winner is Sheila Llewellyn for Winter in Tabriz. Next, the SOMERSET MAUGHAM Awards, awarded since 1947 to writers under the age of 30, with thanks to our judges, Fred Degar, oh, I don't need that, Ardashir Vakil and Roseanne Watt. Each of these authors receives a SOMERSET MAUGHAM Award and a prize of £3,200. TJ Chin for Keeping the House, Caleb Azuma Nelson for Open Water, Lucia Osborne Crowley for My Body Keeps Your Secrets, Stephanie Sikia for Amnion, and Maya Elsner for Overrun by Wild Boars, who can't join us tonight. The travelling scholarships were endowed in 1944 to enable authors to travel and engage with writers abroad. Thanks go to our assessors Tamima Anam, Aida Edamariam, Gabriel Gadamosi, Anne McElvoy, and Abir Mukherjee. Each of these authors receives a travelling scholarship for just over £1,300. Alice Albinia, Miami Blue, Ben Judah, Aisha Malik, and Dylan Moore, and Linda Brogan, who unfortunately can't be with us this evening. Now, the ALCS Tom Gallen Trust Award was founded by Nellie Tom Gallen in memory of her brother and rewards a short story of up to 5,000 words. It is now generously sponsored by ALCS. Thanks go to our panel of judges, Claire Fuller, Sophie Haydock, Billy Kahora, and Mary Watson. Congratulations to those on the shortlist: Sheila Armstrong for Red Market, David Frankel for The Memory System, Ben Tufnell for Last Days, and Roland Watson Grant for The Disappearance of Mum Adele. Due to the international nature of this prize, sadly, neither our runner-up nor the winner can be with us tonight, both residing overseas. Please still do give a warm round of applause to runner-up Dean Gessie for Head Smashed in Buffalo Jump. And winner Kanya Dalmeida for I Cleaned the... Now to the Paul Torday Memorial Prize. In its third year, founded by the Paul Torday family and set up in his honour to celebrate debut novelists over 60, the prize is also now funded by the Hawthornden Literary Retreat. Thanks go to judges Mavis Cheek, Denise Mina, and Donald S. Murray. Congratulations to our shortlisted authors: Yvonne Bailey-Smith for The Day I Fell Off My Island, Anthony English for Death of a Coast Guard, and John Fletcher for Wuhan. This year's runner-up is Michael Mallon for The Disciple, though Michael's based in the US and can't join us in person this evening. And this year's winner is Jane Fraser for Advent. The McKitterick Prize was founded by Tom McKitterick and is open to debut novels by writers aged 40 and over. Thanks go to our judges Selma Dabar, Rebecca Foster, Kelly Greenberg-Jeffcott, and Yiti Isson and Nick Renninson. Congratulations to our shortlist: Oana Aristide for Under the Blue, Claire Louise Bennett for Checkout 19, Celeste Mohammed for Pleasant View, and Rachel Yoder for Night Bitch. This year's runner-up is Lisa Tadeo for Animal. Lisa's based in the US and can't join us in person this evening. And this year's winner is David Anand for Peter Down. This is my favourite one. The Queen's Knickers Award for an outstanding children's book for ages up to 7 was founded in 2020 and generously funded by Nicholas Allen. Thank you to our judges Lauren Child, Petra Horacek, and Patrice Lawrence. Congratulations to our shortlisted authors and illustrators: Chris Houghton for Maybe, Matthew Hodson for At This Very Moment, and Dr. Meredith L. Rowe and Monica Forsberg for An Interesting Word for Every Day of the Year. This year's runners-up are Mick Jackson and Joan Broadley for While You're Sleeping, though John can't be with us this evening. This year's winners are Alistair Chisholm and David Roberts for Inch and Grub.
So we can all get in the line. Milk the light.
Thank you. And the Cholmondeley Awards were founded by the late Dowager Marchioness of Cholmondeley and recognise achievement and distinction in poetry. With thanks to our assessors, Manitza Alvi, Hannah Lowe, Drew Milne and Derys Rhys-Jones, who have selected the following poets who will each receive a Cholmondeley Award and a prize of the very specific number of £1,680. Tiffany Atkinson, Menna Elfin, David Kinloch, and finally, Jerry Luce and Maggie O'Sullivan, who are unable to join us this evening. The Eric Gregory Awards are for poets under the age of 30 for a collection of 30 poems. Thank you to our judges Raymond Antrobus, Wayne Holloway-Smith, Sarah Howe, Gwyneth Lewis, Roger Robinson and Joelle Taylor. Each of these poets will receive an Eric Gregory Award and an equal share of the £28,350 award fund. And they are Joe Carrick-Varty for Skydock, Courtney Conrad for Revelations, Jack Cooper for Break the Nose of Every Beautiful Thing, Daniela Fearon for Beyond the Monochrome Lens, Maisie Newman for Our Names Were Oil, Ria Pau for Roots, Stephanie Sikia for Amnion. No, I don't think anybody should go at the back. What is it that poets do that makes them have so many friends? Next to our final awards of the night, surely not, the Betty Trask Prize and awards for a debut writer by a writer under 35. Thanks go to our judges Sarah Collins, Michael Doncott and Alex Preston. The 4 Betty Trask Award winners are A.K. Blakemore for The Manningtree Witches, Caleb Azuma Nelson for Open Water, and finally Megan Nolan for Acts of Desperation and Natasha Brown for Assembly, both of whom can't be with us tonight. Our Betty Trask Prize of £10,000 goes, for the first time ever, to a graphic novel. Congratulations to Will MacPhail, who wins with In the Graphic Novel. Thank you. Our congratulations go to all the winners, runners-up and shortlistees for all our prizes and awards. Their books are available for sale at the bookshop supplied by Blackwell's Books, just by the entrance, and via bookshop.org if you're watching online. Please join us in toasting our winners at our summer party, which will continue until 9 p.m, and I hope you'll be raising a glass at home if you've joined us via live stream.